Pointy here, and we're going to talk about Sylvans today. Sylvans have been an okay deck that have cards such as the Martial Leaf and the Komushumo, which allow them to blow monsters and spells up. They've got cards like the Flower Knight, which helps them search for the spells and traps, and just all the different cards like Peacekeeper, Monster Reborn, and the deck was an okay deck. Being able to do different weird combos, they're able to summon things and pop your opponent's cards and control their mills, something Light Swords have problems doing. And so the way that the deck works is it just uses those cards to their maximum advantage. Well, recently, they had announced a bunch of new cards, and I figured I'd talk about them now, even though it was a little bit behind the times, but that's besides the point. Some of the new cards are the Sylvan Cherub Sprout. Sylvan Cherub Sprout released in the special edition as a promotional shiny foil card that was in each set. This card, in my opinion, is one of the best level 1 Sylvan things out there, and one of the best kind of Sylvan cards, in my opinion, as well, because it pushes for a separate build. Right now, the build everyone's heavily pushing towards is an XYZ level 7, level 8 spam build, using different kinds of monsters with the small synchro engine, but then using the lone fires and such like that, just to be able to pull up these level 8s. The Cherub Sprout helps you push for a new build, which is mainly focused on synchroing. You can do XYZs with it, but the thing is, what it does is when it's milled, it can special summon from your deck one level 1 plant type monster, which can be your Nateria Cherries, which is something I've been testing out and loving in the deck. We have Copy Plant, which is just an amazing card allowing you to make your XYZs or any even number synchro based on the other monster on the field, as well as the Peacekeeper itself, allowing you to excavate 1, or himself, saying when this card is special summoned, you can excavate up to 2 cards, which is amazing because excavating 2 is wonderful. It works with cards like Play Nutrient Z, so you can excavate something or use the 1 for 1 to pitch a monster, special summon this, mill 2, Nutrient Z, get out Lone Fire, get out the Hermitry, and then mill something and draw something, and all of that just really nice with this new card. Another card they released was the Sylvan Fairy Lotus. Fairy Lotus is an amazing card in my opinion because what it does is it takes something that the deck has and fixes the problem. After you do a bunch of milling, like any deck, you need to be able to get the cards back in the deck. You cannot use the Pot of Duplicity or the Pot of Avarice because Avarice is banned and Duplicity requires different monster types, and they're all plants. Unless you're synchroing into really weird things, you're not going to be able to do anything besides just the plants and stuff, and you're not going to be able to just put the synchros back for the Pot of Duplicity and go any plus with that because you're not going to be recycling more than 1 plant type then. This card says when he's excavated, you can return up to 5 Sylvan cards from your graveyard and shuffle them, or no, not shuffle, put them in the bottom of your deck in any order. So you can take him, excavate him, and then you can put back on the bottom of your deck your 2 Martial Leafs, your Komushumo, and something else, and just go searching for things to shuffle the deck up a little bit. As well as, when he is on the field, you excavate as many cards as your opponent controls on their side of the field. If they have 4 traps and 2 monsters, you excavate 6. If they have 7 cards on their side of the field, being like 3 spells, 3 monsters, and a field spell, then you excavate 7. If they only have 2 cards, you excavate 2. And it's, even though it does have to do the same amount that they have, excavating big numbers just really helps push the deck. He is level 5, which some people are complaining about, but in the end, the amount of ways that you can special summon cards from your grave or from your deck, or being able to tribute things and get this thing out, because you will have cards on the field that you can tribute off, is just, he never really is that bad of a card, especially with the fact that he can excavate up to 8, 7, 10, 5, any amount of cards just based on what your opponent has, which is bad because relying on your opponent to do things does sometimes come with issues. But this card's usefulness certainly overpowers that. Another card they came out with is the Sylvan Sage Quai. This card says, when a Sylvan monster is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon him. Once per turn, you can excavate 1. And when he's excavated, you can return a Sylvan Spell or Trap to your hand. Which is nice because what it does is, if it does get excavated, you can get back the Sylvan Charity, which I'll talk about again in a couple seconds. As well as, when you do have him in your hand, and you excavate something great, and you can special summon him, and then you can excavate again and do other things, all at the same time, being able to just really hurt on your opponent, really get your cards out, and just have much plus to the field, turning a first turn play into wonderful things. His being level 7 makes synchros, or makes level 7 XYZs really higher chance of getting, so you don't just have to only use that Queen of Thorns and copy plants and such like that, or try and splash in a ton of E-Dragons even though only certain ones work in this deck, and it really helps push for that kind of thing. This helps remove the need for some clogged cards that you were just using to help just kind of discard or try to get to your level 7 Queen of Thorns. This card just kind of helps take place of those. Another card that they released is the really popular Sylvan Charity. The card that, because of the word charity in its name, caught everybody's attention. Sylvan Charity is this wonderful card that says, draw 3 cards. Then reveal a Sylvan monster and another card, put them on top of your deck in any order. If you do not have a Sylvan card in your hand after you draw the 3, you have to shuffle your entire hand into your deck, and it's not really a big of a deal because you will not be activating it unless you have another Sylvan card in your hand. Being able to reveal any Sylvan card and then another card to shove on top of your deck in any order allows you to stack everything for wonders. You activate it, you draw 3, you put back your Sylvan Peacekeeper and your Sylvan Marshal Leaf, and then you will normal summon your, let's just say, another Marshal Leaf. Mill the 2, pop something, Monster Reborn, XYZ. Just do all these wonderful things because the deck does really, really silly things, and this card making the plus just pushes everything wonderful far past marvelous greatness. It just, after all these cards that they're slowly releasing for different decks like this, cards like this are just perfectly for what the deck needed. They needed something to help them get their hand presence. This card does that. They needed something to help keep field presence. That's what Sage Kwai is for. They needed something to have heavy mills and return cards from the grave to their deck. That's what they gave them the Fairy Lotus for. And they really wanted to be able to push for more synchroing plays, and that's why we got the Sylvan Cherub Sprout. I view the cards as a way to push into synchroing more into this deck. And I've never liked synchros until this deck came out. And the fact that this deck can suddenly utilize plants and synchros in just such a way that has not been around for a while, it's a really nice addition to the game. Personally, I'm going to continue running my synchro build, and I will show you guys that soon. Thanks for watching. I'll be making the next part of that, this deck and how to beat it, soon. I'm still working on some of the research on the deck, trying to figure out exactly what you guys should know about it. And thank you for watching. Comment, like, subscribe below if you really want it, if you really liked it or anything. If you think I did something wrong or you want to see a different series or I should really just stop this one, go right ahead and tell me in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day. Yeah.
Everything is awesome.